What's going on, guys? It's Chandler here with the channel. Come back to you guys again with another video today. The last entry in our three-part series of everyday carry. What do I carry with me every day? Let's check it out. As always, we will do a quick disclaimer just like everybody else has in this series. This video will be solely going over what I carry on my person every single day. This does not count what I have with me, say in my vehicle or otherwise, while I'm going out and about. But this is solely just what is on my person. So we will go over the firearm first. Of course, we are clear. And as you can see, what I carry every day is a Sig P365 XL. If you've been with the channel for a while, then you know what this build is. This is the P365 that I have had for quite some time now, that I have pieced apart and got different upgrades for it over the years. Really, the fire control unit has not changed. It is a pretty decent trigger. First, when you get it, I didn't really think much of it, but over the years, I've come to really enjoy it. So the fire control unit has stayed the same the entire time. The only thing that has switched, of course, is the grip module and the slide. When the change kit for the Sig 365 XL came out, I purchased one of those, and that way I had a ready to go 365 XL right out of the box. From there, what we did, of course, is take the Optic plate off and mount us a Romeo Zero with a shroud. I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do with this yet. I've had it on here for over a year now, I believe, and it hasn't done me any wrong. Of course, the battery is going to have to be replaced more often than what I initially thought. I've just set a reminder to replace it every 6 to 8 months or so, just to be safe. It's nowhere near what they say it is, but I do as well keep mine at a higher brightness setting, so that way when I use my weapon light, it does not flood it out. And you have to keep in mind as well that this Optic does not have a auto adjust to brightness, so whatever you set it on, it is on. It does have MoTac though, and that's really good. It's an okay optic, better with the shroud. However, Uncle Ray did bring out a Holosun 407K down to the range, and I was quite impressed with that, and it mounts the same footprint. So in the next year, that will probably also be replaced as well. Moving on from there, after that, there really was not at the time any good light for the 365. Originally, it has a proprietary rail. I ended up buying the Tactical Development Rail extension and 1913 conversion. So instead of having the Sig proprietary rail, this is just a 1913 on the bottom. I think it looks really sweet. I like it quite a bit, and it's done me pretty well, and it allows me to mount any 1913 I want on there. Now the light is a point of contention right now. I've got an Olight PL Mini 2 Valkyrie. It's a pretty decent light. Given today's options, I probably would not purchase this light. Streamlight has the TLR7 sub that they make specifically for the 365. And 365 XL, which I will probably switch to here in the next year. However, this has not been a bad light to me, and I quite like the lumens on it. Rechargeability, pretty easy. Good switches, good actuation. I know Olight is kind of a hot topic sometimes, literally. It really hasn't done me bad. It's actually been pretty decent. However, I do plan on changing it out now that a better option that won't break the bank has come out. Moving on down the gun, of course, the last piece we have on the firearm itself is these Talon Pro grips. Trevor with the channel originally turned me onto these. I like them quite a lot. It's kind of the great middle ground, as he always says, between rubber and grit. It's pretty great. It's like a good gritty rubber, so that way there is more surface area to grasp into your palm. However, it is not so abrasive that it destroys your stomach when you are carrying this appendix. And speaking of carrying appendix, I carry this firearm with this holster right here. This is the McKinatec Kineflex. We did do a review on this, and I took a chance and found a smaller company, McKinatec. I heard of them, and the only reason I did is because they make holsters for a lot of weirder options. So since I had this Tactical Development rail and this light, they were really one of the only ones that made a holster that the gun would snap in and be good with. And before, when I carried the 365, I carried a sidecar, which is a fantastic holster, but we have this McKinatec Flex, and it is a very similar design to what Tier 1 does and now what T-Rex Arms does with their new sidecar, except T-Rex Arms has a hinge pin, and Tier 1 as well as McKinatec has a kind of a elastic bungee cord deal. I really have zero complaints whatsoever about this holster. It's actually been quite awesome. Something I have added to that is on the back, I have a Tier 1 foam wedge. This is a size medium, so that way when I have the holster on, from my body it pushes this out and back into my body, so you have it working, pushing this way back into your body, and with this pad it pushes out with it, so that way the firearm is oriented back away from you with the handle really pushed into your body, so there's not going to be any printing. That's something that I've really enjoyed. Saying that with the holster, we will now go on to what I carry magazine wise. Of course, it being the P365 XL, I do have the 12 round flush magazine and a 15 round magazine as well with the extended base plate, 12+1 in the gun, and an extra 15, giving me 28 rounds of capacity total. In this currently, I've got the Fort Scott TUI. It's a really good round, and it's a pretty devastating round. However, the thing is, when we did our ballistics testing, the tumble effect did not come into play until much later than we anticipated. I may switch these back out to the Hornady Critical Defense, as we were really pleased on how that bullet fared ballistically in our ballistics gel test. Now, something that you should carry no matter what, even if you've got a weapon light, is a regular flashlight. This is an Olight i5T EOS as opposed to the i3T, which has a AAA. This has a AA battery, so it is a little bit bulkier, but not too much worse. The lumens aren't bad, and what you can do is you can use this toggle that toggles on to a lower lumen setting and a higher lumen setting, and that's something that I really like. Of course, it will die quicker if you do that. It is quite a decent light, not rechargeable or anything like that, just a simple AA that I quite enjoy a lot, and the pattern looks pretty decent. Moving on from there, we will go to something else I carry, which of course is pocket knives. Now I've got two that I rotate between, and there's not really anything special about them. I've been using them for a while, so I know that they're pretty decent knives. This is the CRKT Drifter pocket knife. It's a pretty simple little knife. I use it all the time for work. That is mainly where I carry this knife. It's not a very big knife, however, for carrying on my person, I usually don't carry a huge blade. I've had bad luck with that in the past in terms of snagging and falling out in places where I don't want the knife to fall out, obviously. This knife has turned out to be really good. I enjoy it quite a bit, very durable, but it's a workhorse of a knife, and it's made extremely well. It's not an assisted open or anything, but it does have a lock, which I do like. Very easy to clean if you need to. Of course, a carry clip as well here. It's just a great rugged knife to have on you. Nothing really fancy, but it does a good job. Even though that's a small knife, if I'm trying to be a little more low profile, I have this small Gerber pocket knife. I think it's called the Paraglide, almost like a mini pocket knife, and it's actually just a pry open here. You know, catch your fingernail, slide it open, but it also locks. And it is quite the small knife, but it's very thin, has a carry clip, and it'll go on you. Nobody will ever know you have it. It's not serrated or anything. It's not fancy. However, it does a really good job for what it is. It's just a nice little minimalist knife that if you need it in a pinch, you can use it. Going on from there, this is just something that I have figured out that I will use quite a bit, and that is headphones. These are just a pair of AirPod Pros that I've had a couple years. They're really quite good headphones, and noise canceling in them is really good. That way, if I'm listening to music, listening to a podcast, or anything like that, a good pair of headphones goes a long way. Last but not least, we have my wallet. Now, this was something that, same as Trevor, I was trying to get into more of a minimalist fashion. I did have a big, bulky bifold wallet that when I sat down, I had to take it out of my pocket and everything like that because it stayed in my back pocket and it became uncomfortable. I did not get the same wallet as Trevor, but it's very similar. This is Ekster is the brand. It is just a a leather kind of fold in half wallet that you have placed for, you know, your ID, a couple cards on the inside, a little band for cash, notes, things of that nature, reminders to yourself, as well as some more card holders on the back. But the big thing of this wallet is the main party trick, and that is a little lever down here that you can flip and your cards kind of flare out for you to pick from, which I like quite a bit. It's a pretty decent wallet. You know, I don't carry as much cash with me now, but I have a little band for cash in the front if I want it. But it does hold quite a bit of stuff, and more than you'd think. I definitely have enjoyed switching to a minimalist wallet to carry on me all the time. And that is going to about do it for this video, guys. These are the things that I use every single day that I deem necessary to carry on my person. Obviously, not every single one of them are a necessity, like, of course, the headphones. It's just something that I've decided to incorporate into mine, which, of course, if you want to be extremely minimalist, it could be eliminated. If you like this kind of content, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. Let us know your thoughts of our carry setups. The everyday carry is something that evolves over time. I already know of a few upgrades that I'm going to be doing to my P365 this year alone, so we plan on, as things change, we will update these videos as well. This series has been a really good way to compare and contrast our setups, plus maybe give you some ideas for your own setups that you do or do not want. So this concludes the end of our 3-part series. Let us know what you think. This has been Chandler with Range Day, where every day is Range Day. Thanks for watching. Have a good one, guys.